From the jump, 8 months ago, I've greatly enjoyed using the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. It picked up exactly where the S23 Ultra left off and brought some new goodies. A new titanium frame, AI-powered features, upgraded internals, a whopping 7-year OS update commitment, a game-changing anti-reflective display, and that's just scratching the surface. But let's be real, it's not the only contender out there. Phones of all price brackets continue to get better and better each year, and with this flagship starting at a huge $1,300 price tag, it's not going to be the easiest phone to recommend. So let's go over my experience, I'll show you how it's held up after all these months, and in the end, I'll let you know if it's still worth picking up. Now I gotta say, this phone hits the sweet spot between lightweight and premium, and over time, I've really come to appreciate that. It's not exactly a small device either, so the weight distribution matters a lot here. That titanium frame, only 1 gram lighter than the S23 Ultra, but believe me, you notice it. As for those sharp corners, yeah, I get it, they're not for everyone. Personally, I'm more into the rounded edges on the other S24 models, or even the newly dropped Pixel 9 Pro, but there's something about this boxy design that just commands attention. It's bold, it's refined, definitely one of those looks people either hate or love. And here's the kicker, rumor has it that Samsung's thinking about rounding off the corners with the S25 Ultra. What do you think? Should they stick with this sleek, angular vibe or smooth things out for the next generation? Now as for the flat display, I'm all for it. Sure, it might not have the flash of a curved screen, but it's still pure eye candy for me. And that's not only because of the high-end specs. I mean, by now we know what to expect from these top-tier panels, but also because of its anti-reflective properties. Like I said at the beginning, this is a game changer because it literally reduces glare by up to 75%. And yes, it's noticeable, especially when you look at it next to a screen that doesn't have it. Pair that with a peak brightness that's bumped to 2600 nits, and suddenly you're comfortably using this phone in sunlight like it's no big deal. Oh, and the addition of Gorilla Glass armor for better scratch resistance is also a huge win. It's definitely one of the best displays on a smartphone. I'd say the only other phone that is in line with this monster is the Pixel 9 Pro XL, since it does get much brighter at 3000 nits. Still, the S24 Ultra does provide that anti-glare coating, which is nice to have. It's definitely an underrated feature on this device. It'll be great to see this become more of a standard in the market moving forward. As for performance, it's just been great. There hasn't been anything super noteworthy on the negative side of things. It's fast, snappy, and reliable, exactly what you'd expect from a high-end flagship. The ultrasonic fingerprint scanner works really well, the speakers sound great, call quality, reception, and overall connectivity are spot on. Not too many hiccups here, but there are a few things I could nitpick at. The haptics, for example, aren't as crisp as was found in some OnePlus or Pixel phones. Some third-party apps still need better optimization. And while I'm not a huge stickler for pixel-perfect animations, they are a touch behind the competition, but it's something that Samsung is still working on. Battery life has also been fantastic, at least it was at first. Now that some time has passed since launch and updates have been pushed out, battery performance has leveled out and found its groove. In the first few months, I was able to pull anywhere between 8 to 11 hours of screen on time on a single charge with mixed usage. Midway through, after an update or two, battery life dipped to around 6 to 7 hours of screen on time. And fast forward to now, and it's leveled out to just under 8 hours on average, which is still quite good, don't get me wrong. But hey, battery life varies from person to person, and I've heard mixed reports from other users. For me though, whether it's more moderate usage such as messaging, casual scrolling, snapping pictures, or something more intense such as gaming, media streaming on mobile data, navigating with maps, maxed out brightness, or things like that, the battery life holds up well. But the thing is, even though this phone's battery life is good, I've always got a backup. And since I'm always on the move, keeping all my devices charged is absolutely essential. And recently I got my hands on the Charmast C10, a 3-in-1 wireless portable charger from Charmast, the sponsor of this video. And let me tell you, it's been an absolute lifesaver. The front of the Charmast C10 supports wireless magnetic charging up to 15 watts for 3 devices, your phone, earbuds, and smartwatch, truly delivering a 3-in-1 wireless charging experience. Don't be fooled by the size though, because this little powerhouse packs a crazy 10,000 milliamp hours of battery, meaning that it can recharge pretty much any of my tech multiple times in a row without even breaking a sweat. Plus I love that it's so tiny, because I can literally stuff it into almost any pocket that I have. And get this, it can charge up to 4 devices at once because it comes with a USB-C and lightning cable that charges up to 20 watts, a USB-C port, and a wireless charger on the front. It's insane. Plus it's got a handy little LED display, so I always know how much juice I got left. What I love the most though is the clever cable design. The USB-C cable loops out so that you can carry it like a lanyard, and the lightning cable tucks in neatly on the edge. So if you're on the hunt for a portable charger that's compact, stylish, smart, and packs some serious power, you gotta check out the 3-in-1 wireless charger from Charmast. It's making its global debut on Kickstarter with discounts of up to 50% off, and you can be the first to experience this cutting-edge technology. Seriously, don't sleep on this one. Anyway, let's talk about the cameras on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. They've been fantastic. It's very versatile, and with tons of zoom options and features to mess around with, pound for pound, this is one of the best, most accessible high-end camera systems on a phone. They perform very well in just about every condition on both the photo and video side of things, and they're sure to crank out satisfactory results for most users. When you break things down though, that's when you'll notice inconsistencies, and if you're a more seasoned photographer, you might pick up on a few quirks. From Samsung's pretty aggressive image processing or some clunky bits in the camera's UI. Not to mention that the zoom results are usually better on the older S23 Ultra thanks to the higher optical zoom length of 10x instead of 5x found within the telephoto lens. So the S24 setup definitely has its downsides, but saying that the cameras are anywhere near bad would be a straight up lie. As far as rankings are concerned, the cameras on this line of phones are slipping as systems from the likes of Oppo, Xiaomi, Vivo, and other manufacturers continue to progress, wow, and impress. Again, these cameras as a whole are still great, and they've gotten better with updates. They show consistencies throughout the different lenses, quality is sharp with great color, detail, and dynamic range, but Samsung's work is cut out for them, especially if they're going to continue charging as much as they have been for this phone. Now for my favorite part, the software. One UI has come a long way. Polished, feature-packed, and just overall better. And things are looking up for future updates that I know I'm looking forward to, especially One UI 7, which I've heard will be a massive improvement based on rumors and leaks. Be sure to get subscribed to be the first to watch my detailed review once it drops. It's also no surprise that Samsung wants a piece of the pie when it comes to AI. I mean, they've integrated so many new AI features within their S24 lineup. However, I will admit that some of them are a bit of a gimmick, such as live translation. It's basically a feature when you make a phone call that's supposed to help with translation if you're speaking to a foreigner. But in my experience, this usually just confuses the other caller, and sometimes people will speak while the translation is occurring, and that'll just cause chaos within the phone call. Still, there are a good amount of other AI features that I found to be helpful. Within Samsung Internet, I love how it's easy to just use AI to quickly summarize a page or even just translate it into a different language. Circle of Search obviously was incredible for discovering new items that I couldn't find the name for or description for within some random photo or video on social media. And even though I prefer using Gboard, it's still nice that Samsung integrated AI within their stock keyboard app to let you quickly fix any grammar mistakes, translate your writing, or improve it. Plus, outside of AI, I do appreciate that Samsung threw in some features that other Androids don't have. Things like lock screen widgets, weather effects within the lock screen to match your current forecast, a new Find app that is similar to Google's Find My Device app, but it's just for your Samsung devices. And there's an extra battery protection feature within the settings that just helps you improve your phone's battery health so that it lasts longer. So it's pretty obvious that One UI is still the king of features and customization. If there's something you want to modify or change, you can most likely do it. And if there's a feature you've never even thought of, it most likely exists within the settings or the Good Lock app. The only thing I don't like about One UI, and I know most of you will flame me for this in the comments, is its overall design. Even though it's not ugly, I do prefer the design of other OEMs like Google Pixels, OnePlus, or Nothing phones. To me, they just look a bit cleaner. But everyone's opinion is different. And of course, you can't forget about the S Pen. I'll be honest, over the years, I've used it less and less, but I still love some of the unique features that the S Pen offers, such as being able to use it as a remote control for taking group photos, or using it to scribble over screenshots in better detail that my giant fingers otherwise couldn't. It's just not something that I regularly use, and it's not something that I can't live without. It's a fun party trick, and for specific scenarios. By no means do I think they should get rid of it either. Long live the S Pen. But I guess that's part of the theme with this phone. So here's the deal. The Galaxy S24 Ultra is a powerhouse. There's no question about that. But the reality is that most people will simply not take full advantage of every single feature it has to offer. Now the features are there, many of which you just won't find anywhere else, and for many, this phone will be the phone of the year. But at $1,300, it's a tough pill to swallow. I won't lie too, you can probably just get as much value in a cheaper device like the OnePlus 12, Google Pixel 9 Pro XL, or even just the Galaxy S24 Plus. For the average Joe who isn't looking to tweak their entire device and won't need a stylus, you should look in that direction. I mean, the Galaxy S24 Plus has got pretty much the same specs and features as the Ultra. You'll just be missing out on an extra telephoto lens, the S Pen, and a slightly smaller battery capacity and screen size. But you'll save yourself $300, and you can just use that extra money to get a Galaxy Watch 7. However, for those who can't live without a stylus, want the biggest and baddest from Samsung, and money isn't an issue, the S24 Ultra is for you. And you'll still have a fantastic experience. Either way, those are my thoughts on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed this review. Also, drop a comment on what you think about this flagship and if you're planning to pick one up. Or if you already have it, let us know about your experience. Thanks for sticking to the end, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Kapow!